My name's Jenna Harton and I am the COYEP manager for Cromwell College and Dunstan High School. So COYEP came around in 2018, a survey was done and it was found that within Central Otago there were 54 pupils that were NEET, so not in education or training. So the brainchild of Judy Grace Dillon and Trevor McDonald put together the initiative for COYEP. The COYEP programme is a one-year programme for Year 11 pupils. So COYEP pupils get to go out one day a week and gain work experience in an industry they see a future career path in. That, however, can be changed termly. Alongside that, on a Monday, we also run a 52 credit NCEA Level programme, doing work packages that are getting them ready for work. So things like financial banking, employment law, health and safety, CVs, spreadsheets, setting them up perfectly for when they transition out on their apprenticeship.
My name's Sarah Hill, I'm Deputy Principal at Cromwell College and I cover teaching and learning within alternative pathways and learning support as well as in the mainstream. I guess in a nutshell, we're trying to normalise what it is that's going on in our community for our kids. So when they're coming to school, the idea of learning numeracy, reading and writing is not something that's a standalone, it's attached to the context that is their world around them. So we live in this amazing melting pot of Central Otago where the industries that surround us include viticulture, hort and ag. We've got the most amazing stone fruit orchards around us, dairy farming as well. We have probably one of the fastest growing trades industries with the amount of construction going around us. Included as well, hospitality is thriving here, and those industries are all reflected back in what we're trying to bring more so into education. I don't think any of these ideas are new. In fact, I think they're really, really old, and it's the idea of going back to what we know works and what is key at the heart of a community. I think it's really exciting. We've got this new curriculum, Te Mātai, and there's a really big importance placed on connection to your local and to your community, not only with the history of your whenua and your land, but also people. Because at the heart of all of this stuff that we know about students is that when they feel connected and they have that sense of belonging, that whanaungatanga, that is when they're working at their best.
I think for me, the beauty of COYEP is having the connection within the community. We've got the buy-in from employers, from parents, from pupils, because they can see how amazing COYEP is for them.
I'm not the brightest at school and I feel like this is probably better for me. They've been showing me a lot and they've showed me like the process and all that.
It's good to see them come through and the older guys take them under their wing, so to speak. You try and sort of nestle them in there and become part of the team and feel like they're actually valued and all working for the same goal. I think it's a good stepping stone for the young fellas to see what's out there. I mean, you never know, they could be your next foreman, they could be anything for you, so it's worth investing that time.
I left school at 15 to go straight to work. 15 and a half I was. I had 1 week with my employer as a bit of a practice and then I was away. Work is slightly different to school. There's much more of a process involved in what you do. You start from one point, looking at a picture and then coming up with a plan. That's where more practical people like myself and like Caden potentially, we're not great at school but we've got this vision to be able to see what we want to do.
Any industry is possible, and so once I know a pupil is interested in a certain industry, I will go out and I'll find that work experience. And I think that's the beauty of Central, is there is so much on offer here.
Hospitality is a huge part of what Cromwell has to offer. Probably doesn't get the recognition it deserves. It's sort of seen as a job before you go to university. The summer holidays you can make some quick money, but it's really got a strong opportunity for career, to be career driven. And why I say that is that you can start on the ground floor and work your way up because we're a knowledge-based industry. And it's amazing who comes in and how we see them change over the time as they get more confident.
A success for me is a pupil that wanted to get into farming and he didn't necessarily have the support at home. So I was able to find him an incredible employer that wanted to teach a young shepherd.
Ever since I was a young kid I wanted to do farming. It's been a passion of mine for a long time now. My name's Adam and I work at the Point Station in Terrace. Been here for nearly about a year and a half. Well, it gave me a bit of excitement I actually wanted to do my schoolwork so I could go work more days in the workplace. I had no motivation before that to do any schoolwork. But yeah, I can only see myself just farming really. I think anyone gets a bit nervous when they go into a new job or something like that, but since you know it's sort of through the school, you feel like you got a lot of support.
Some of the magical moments have been in our numeracy maths classes when they're talking about things like ratios, and it's been really hard to pick up, and as soon as that's been identified that it's one of our students on a community engagement program or in the COYEP program work experience, then they just quickly can say, hey, you know how you were drenching sheep last week and you had to mix the drench for that? The ratio of the drench to the water, that's what a ratio is. But it's even that bigger thing about the why I have to learn something. Why do I have to learn how to write a formal email? Why do I have to know when to use a capital letter? Well, actually, when you're answering emails at your workplace, you want your customers to feel valued and to know that they're dealing with somebody who's competent and confident as well. So it's a bit embarrassing if you send out emails that have got incorrect spelling and punctuation and things like that. So all of that suddenly becomes really real to them.
I think a lot of the employers see themselves in the pupils, and the employers are only too willing to give these pupils a chance because someone gave them a chance early on.
When I was at school, I always sort of wished that someone had grabbed me out and pulled me out to a farm and let me do that once a week. I probably do resonate with them a bit because I remember being their age and struggling at school and struggling with maths, reading, writing. I still struggle with all that sort of stuff, and hearing them talk about their struggles is sort of really relate. So when I left school at 16, I realised that I had a really good boss that showed me how to count sheep and how to work out like a lambing percentage. And that was the first time in my entire life where I'd actually, when I worked it back from seeing like sheep in a paddock to the numbers, I could work it out in my head, but before that I just couldn't get it. When I go around with these guys, it's a lot more casual in the truck and they don't really realise it, but they're actually learning maths.
Don't really like school much, but gotta go. But yeah, it's good to be out of school for a bit and working. Go to school on Monday and just get help with schoolwork, and they've got like papers for us to do.
For us as an industry has got a huge problem where we don't have young people coming through. I think the average age of a farmer now is like 57. And so we need to capture these young fellas and women out of school and get them into the industry and get them coming through, and we need good keen people. A lot of guys in the industry, they want people who have done a year or 2 years worth of experience, but if you don't have anywhere to get that, then you've got nowhere to go. So I have keen young people out of high school that want to learn, but they just have nowhere to go. So that's what we're trying to do at Tynwald, is trying to capture these people and get them going and giving them the opportunity to go into the industry.
Got approached by Gina from Dunstan High School about a keen young lass that was keen to come in the building trade, so and then Hayley turned up.
I started off 1 day a week and then eventually moved to 4 days a week and just 1 day doing the program at school, and then eventually just went full time with Tom.
Wasn't sure what I wanted to do out of school, so I just did a couple of years working. This course would have been perfect for me, to be fair, if there was something there. School wasn't my thing, I was there to play sport and eat my lunch. Yeah, I highly recommend it for young people that are thinking of getting into something or leaving school early or have a bit of a taste of what's out there.
So with the amazing support of groups such as the Withall Fund, we've been able to purchase a food truck cart that our whole school has really got an investment in. From the design of the signage and things on the cart to the food prep that we will be servicing the community with, and then the customer skills and the sharing of those experiences as well. All groups from year 7 to 13 have the opportunity to be part of that as a project, and we'll be using it for our Matariki celebrations as well. And it's about connection with community, inviting our community in as much as we're making sure we go out, so that we can be really reciprocal in sharing the learning. What are the key skills and competencies that our community wants us to be imparting to our students in their time here, and making sure that we don't lose sight of that, being too insular and When they feel valued, all of a sudden we have more people putting their hand up to volunteer, to join in, and that's how we grow our community, which is really beautiful.
Our son, who's at high school, he came home one day and was telling us about it. He approached Jenna, and yeah, from there it sort of just carried on. We went to an information evening and learnt about it, and that was something that appealed to him. From a parent's perspective, what I'm seeing in our son is that it's making him quite grounded, which is good. To be honest, I don't have to do anything. They just turn up and off they go. So Jenna does all the hard work in the background. For someone that's not 100% sure of what they want to do, I think this is a great opportunity.
So the selection for a COYEP pupil is quite high. We have quite a lot of pupils that actually apply to come onto the programme. So we have to be really selective in who we choose because we've only got those 10 spots at each school. So I'll sit down with senior management and we'll look at which pupils that we think will benefit from this programme. Once we've done that selection, we'll meet with parents and pupils and we'll explain how the programme works. We'll set them up with the employer and they'll go and trial that industry. And then once they're happy in that said industry, the programme rolls out. I think not all pupils thrive within the four walls of a classroom, so opening those walls up and putting those pupils into different contexts in the outdoors, pupils just thrive. And for me, to see the growth from the start of the year to the end is huge. Pupils go out and they gain this work experience in that field that they want to have a future in. And then they suddenly realise in order to be offered this apprenticeship, they need to have that baseline of the NCEA Level 1. So they see the importance of the schooling. So they'll come back into school and they'll get those credits needed to get their NCEA Level 1. So in order for them to leave to start that apprenticeship. So there's a real mind switch.
When you overlay that new learning to a context that they're already familiar with, suddenly life gets really easy and it's a whole lot more engaging as well, because now I'm having conversations at home, people at home can help me, they understand, and I feel connected to my community that I live in as well.
Some of the role models and employers that we've got these pupils going out to, they're incredible. They've proven the concept themselves, very successful men and women. So we know we're sending these pupils out into really good workplaces. The life skills that these pupils are getting are huge. You can't teach that within school. So by having that opportunity to go out and gain those skills by being in the workforce is so lucky for these pupils.